After the mass killings at Sudan hospital, the UN chief, Antonio Guterres, has called for an immediate end to military escalation. Sudan's military forces reportedly killed 460 people, including patients, at a hospital after they seized the provincial capital of North Darfur. The RSF's leader, General Mohammed Hamdan, known as Hamedi, admitted there had been abuses by his forces in his first comments since the fall of Fasher, posted on Wednesday on Telegram. Dagalo said an investigation had been opened without providing further details. Civilians who made it out of Fasher have reported being stripped of belongings and extorted for ransom by RSF fighters, with many women reporting being sexually assaulted. There's footage that's resurfaced on social media showing the RSF fighters standing in front of corpses and burnt out cars from a convoy ambushed from around 9 kilometers northeast of Fasher in Sudan's Darfur region. Okay, we're now joined by Ambassador Mahesh Sachdev. He's a former Indian ambassador and he joins us live from New Delhi. Ambassador Sachdev, some devastating visuals and of course some devastating news coming out of Sudan. 460 people reported dead in this hospital incident in Fasher. The World Health Organization chief has called this collective elimination. Is this a turning point where the UAE-backed RSF's actions now qualify as collective elimination by this international body? Is there any place under international law for this? Could you explain how the international order might come into play here after something like this?
Well, thank you. It's a very serious matter. Wanton killings and massacres, particularly in a hospital of a vanquished city, which most of the victims being civilians, is a very sad state of affairs. Yes, to the reply to your specific question would be that international law does provide recourse in such cases. The Rome Statutes, under which the International Criminal Court was established in The Hague, has been trying war criminals, mostly from Africa, but also from some Balkan countries. But the issue that hobbles these proceedings is not being able to send the people to arrest such war criminals. They are at large till a government decides to hand them over. And not many governments are willing to do that. In this particular case, RSF remains a law to itself. It is a quasi-government militia, and it is unlikely to be amenable to surrendering the alleged war criminals. And these are mass war crimes. I think first culpability of individuals would have to be established. I should add here that the last president of combined Sudan, al-Bashir, was indicted as a war criminal by ICC, but he is still to be handed over. So there are not too many precedents of happy kind in this particular case.
Ambassador Sachdev, could you explain how something like this could have happened? 460 people killed in a hospital is significant is a hugely significant figure. Now the leader, General Mohammed Hamdan, has acknowledged that he, as himself has called abuses by his forces. How could such a thing be perpetrated by a force which is, by the way, funded by the United Arab Emirates?
Well, let's go into the background a little bit. Darfur region has been a bit restive for nearly 25 years, since the turn of the century. And initially, the issue was between black Africans and Arab Muslims that straddle that area. And the regime in Khartoum, run by General al-Bashir, had encouraged Janjaweed militia of Arab Muslims to launch a program against the black African tribal groups in that area. Some of them were even Muslims. And this was in response to insurrection, and Sudan was in a state of civil war even then. So this Janjaweed militia was known for horrific massacres and human rights violations. Subsequently, in 2013, al-Bashir formalized Janjaweed into RSF, which is a Rapid Response Force. And that force became a militia parallel to the Sudan armed forces. And this force does not have, RSF does not have the proper military training and discipline to behave in a more organized manner. After nearly 18 months of siege over Fasher, where they have finally scored a victory and SAF forces have withdrawn. Now, the RSF cadres are hell-bent upon extracting revenge, as the reports seem to suggest. And they think everybody who stayed on in Al-Fasher for 15, 17 months is a party to SAF campaign to hold out in that area, and they want to punish them or expel them from their part of Darfur, which they now entirely control. As far as supervision is concerned, the area is landlocked. There are no, it's a semi-arid, partly desert area bordering Libya, Chad, and South Sudan, and Central African Republic. Rather remote, but rich in minerals, particularly gold. That has bankrolled RSF's campaign. So much of that gold gets transferred to Dubai, and where it is refined and sort of sold on the sly. So all that goes into making of RSF and financing its campaign, getting military equipment, etc. And this is something that is difficult to control.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Ambassador Sachdev, for providing such insight. It's always a pleasure. Do stay with us as we have further news updates coming in from Africa. When Tanzanians have gone to the polls in an election that President Samia Suluhu Hassan is expected to win after candidates from the two leading opposition parties were barred from standing. In addition to the presidential election, voters are choosing members of the country's 400-seat parliament and a president and lawmakers in the semi-autonomous Zanzibar arpeggio. The vote is being held without the leading opposition party, Chadema, whose leader, Tundu Lissu, is on trial for treason, accusations which he has denied. The Electoral Commission disqualified Chadema in April after it refused to sign electoral code of conduct. Meanwhile, protests have erupted in the country, with demonstrators infuriated by the exclusion of the opposition parties from the presidential race. Police have fired gunshots and tear gas on protesters and have ordered an overnight curfew in Dar es Salaam, a city of more than 7 million people, and the internet access has remained disrupted across the country. We're now once again joined by Ambassador Sachdev. Ambassador, protests and arson on election day. How fragile is Tanzania's democracy right now?
I think Tanzania was known for rather better governance than what has come out to be in this election. And particularly the president, Samia Suluhu Hassan, had undone much of the repression that his predecessors had put in place since she came to office in 2021. However, the current reports, if they are confirmed, speak of another aspect of a leader somehow willy-nilly ensuring his or her re-election and getting popular mandate in the name, but through a tainted election. I think this would have to be watched very carefully. African societies are, as you know, are basically tribal in their origin, with particularly in the sub-Saharan belt where borders were artificially drawn. Moreover, the vertical divide between Christians and Muslims also exists. The current president is a Muslim, which are about 31% of Tanzania's population. The rest of them are Christians. So that is also another aspect to it. She is credited with good economic policy, and Tanzania has recorded above average growth rate. At the same time, the popular aspirations have been fueled, but these also have been stymied by rising inequity between the population, particularly those who are in the coastal areas, which are slightly more prosperous, and then rest of them living inlands. So all that put together creates a slightly pyrotechnical mix, and that combustiveness has come to light during the election process. It is to be hoped that this would be contained. Violence and elections in Africa are miscible in all sort of proportions. Very often these subside once some kind of extra political compromises are made. Elections are upheld by the constitutional courts and judiciary, etc., or international observers. You'd recall that Kenya also had similar problems. Zimbabwe has had similar problems as well in southern part of Africa. Even South Africa's elections have been marred by disputes and uncertainty. So all told, let's watch this space and hope that this does not spiral out of control, taking a momentum of its own, and eventually after the frustrations have been expressed and doubts about electoral authenticity have been gone through. The Constitutional Court or media or foreign observers, etc., would ratify the elections. It's a pity that the current incumbent was well poised to win anyway, but they seem to have, by denying two of her potential competitors access to elections, she has played into the hands of people who would like this to be contested,
Yes.
the results to be contested, and so on. Thank you.
Yes. No. Thank you, Ambassador Sachdev, and thank you very much for the comprehensive insight that you bring to